Yeah, that's always a kind of a and sometimes they run it by in 5 foot streets of road.
Hello, I'm Kelly. Thank you all for coming today. I've been a guitar player since I was about 15 years old, and a couple years ago I was asked to join my cousin's death metal band. So after about 20 minutes I stopped laughing and I thought, yeah, let's give this a shot. For those of you that don't know what death metal is, it's heavy metal where the vocals sound like this, like the Cookie Monster's on the other end of the microphone, and the guitar is very pounding and the drums are really fast and it's aggressive and violent and everything I love about it. So that's kind of what I wanted to do, something that inspired me, so that's how I came up with the concept for death dolls. The dolls your mother warned you about. So in heavy metal and in music, just like in film, there are different genres. Comedy, sci-fi, drama. Death metal, black metal in the music world is the horror genre of music. So a lot of the symbols and imagery and violence that's associated with death metal kind of comes from the horror theme in Hollywood. It's very aggressive music, and you can't just have like happy little stories and oh, my girlfriend broke up with me kind of lyrics in this music. So that's what inspired this idea. As I got into this band, I realized that this music is actually very sophisticated and structured off of classical music. And I ended up having to relearn how to play the guitar, again, after I stopped laughing at the whole idea of it. And I really found that I had a passion for this, and the people that invest in this kind of lifestyle are very passionate about it. This is my own jacket with the patches and all my favorite bands on it that I've seen, every one of these guys. So I am passionate about this, and that's what led me to create this idea. I knew there had to be other people out there like me that were interested in kind of like gory, violent style of dolls. So I found some, and it's kind of your typical vampire, zombie stuff, and then of course the super famous ones, which are the Monster High dolls that I love. And then I wanted to do a vehicle for them, so I was looking into that kind of stuff. Some of the sales opportunities that you could have with a doll like this come from some of the festivals. Over in Europe and in South America, this lifestyle and this music is extremely popular. And there's a festival called Walk-In, there's one called Hellfest, and they go once a year, and they're usually 3-day festivals where 80,000 people a day show up to these festivals. And there's merch booths with every band where they sell different kind of things, koozies for your drinks, dog tags with the name of your favorite band, t-shirts, and all sorts of different items, because this music is a very do-it-yourself kind of marketing scheme. So, the bands really sell the lifestyle and the clothing line as opposed to the music, which everybody takes for free now anyways. I came across some music dolls that are okay, but they seem to kind of miss the point. They're going for kind of the top 40 kind of stuff, but it's not taking advantage of the really rabid fan base that metal fans are. I mean, to them it is an absolute lifestyle, and they throw themselves into it. So while these dolls are based on music, they kind of miss the point, and they miss the best marketplace. This is what I kind of look to for fashion, my inspiration board. I hang out with people that look like this on the weekends sometimes, so I was very familiar with it, but I wanted to get all the kind of right visual cues that I know is authentic to the people that are in this lifestyle. And as you can see, lots of denim, lots of patches, and it's actually starting to creep its way into kind of normal fashion. So I'm really busy, but if you guys want any tips for spring, I might be able to give you a couple of The story is about 3 girls who become friends based on their undying thirst for extreme metal. They spend time writing brutal music and perfecting their instruments because it's a very sophisticated kind of music to play. They join a battle of the bands and get second place to what becomes their arch enemy, the band Bubonic Birth. Their black magic seems to turn fans into mindless hordes of the undead. Death Dolls vow to stop Bubonic Birth from turning their fans into mindless zombies, no matter what it takes. They gear up with weapons made from their instruments, and violent zombie slaughter ensues. So the story kind of starts out like this. We've got breaking news. We're going live now to a report from a local concert where the band Bubonic Birth fans have broken out into a violent horde of the undead. We go live now to Stu to see what's going on. Thank you, Donna. Yeah, the authorities are down here and they're telling us that you'd have to be absolutely nuts to be down here because of all the violence and the and he gets eaten by zombies. We go back and everybody's horrified. We're having some technical difficulties. We're sure Stu's going to be fine, but come back later for reports. And then our dolls down here see this and they're like, oh my gosh, you guys, that's that band that put the curse on us that gave us this really cool hair. If they're going to be turning their fans into zombies, we have to stop this because like this could give death metal a bad name and we don't want that. So they're like, I got a plan, let's go out and slaughter these zombies and, make an example of them. So they get up with all the weapons they have at hand and they go out and they start, violently ripping apart the zombies from the Bubonic Birth band. This is the symbol that represents the band Bubonic Birth. They're kind of the evil guys and didn't really have time to kind of create any characters for them, but this is kind of how their theme would look. This was my inspiration board. I wanted to show that, even though there's lots of black and evil and all that kind of stuff involved with, heavy metal, there's also a lot of color and a lot of saturated colors that are really, really vibrant and fun. And I thought if you could use that in the same way that these girls are, it could make for a really interesting fashion doll. I used this as my color palette. I wasn't able to use all the colors on here, but again, I wanted to show that it's really wide-ranging in the colors that you can use in a doll like this. So the clothes and patterns could vary greatly between the dolls, and a lot of the play pattern could come into just switching out all these different kind of things. And these are actually logos from bands. And what you do is you get a patch from your band and you sew it on your favorite jacket and you go to the concerts and represent your favorite band. So here we could even have the Death Doll's own logo that you could sell as a patch, as an extra item. The colors I chose, again, I wanted to represent, vibrant, saturated colors as opposed to like black and blood and all that stuff. So I picked out my Pantones according to kind of famous heavy metal girl singers, or vocalists, you could probably say. And then I chose to do a pattern story because there actually is a wide variety of patterns also that can be associated with this genre. Death dolls are collectible fashion dolls inspired by the worldwide phenomenon of extreme metal and its underground culture, capitalizing on the fanatical, unwavering loyalty that this music inspires. And when I mean fanatical, unwavering loyalty, I want to show a short little video that gives you an idea of the music and its aggression and shows just exactly how fanatical this fan base can be. They literally throw their bodies into this lifestyle. So I've been in situations like this. This is called a wall of death, where the singer will separate the crowd, and at a certain point in the music, they throw themselves at each other like a giant Viking battle. Okay? So these are very fun, but you usually come out of it a little injured. But part of the fun is the aggression and the violence and just kind of letting loose and getting to have fun. So here's my ideas. Kind of started out, I wanted to do a fashion doll. I knew that because this is more geared towards a collector. I don't really see this being on the shelves of Toys R Us. So I started out kind of doing fashions and taking the shoulder pads and all the extreme things in metal and just seeing what I could come up with and throwing stuff around. Trying to take into consideration some suggestions like making it more asymmetrical. I wanted to work on the face a lot because the Monster High dolls are like, if you look at their heads, they're beautiful. They're just a really good looking sculpt. And then, getting to here, I'm really trying to push maybe went over a little over the top with the gore and stuff. So I pulled it back a little. The doll I want to be about 6.5 inches high, almost like an action figure kind of height, but still a fashion doll that's posable and manipulatable. But my initial designs, after looking at the fashion and kind of throwing things together that I liked, were kind of these dolls, where I was just using the fashion to kind of make a statement with each one and kind of give life to each one of their different personalities. So I wanted to push it a little bit farther, and that's when I came up with my first finished design, Wendy Worm Ridden. Wendy has all the kind of death metal accoutrements. She's got the bullet belt, she's got her denim jacket with the patches, she's got the leather straps, the kind of inverted cross pattern, and since she was cursed by the evil band Bubonic Birth, her costuming and over-the-top kind of costuming, her hair became the worms that her costume represented. Second character, oh, and by the way, she is the lead vocalist. She screams like this, but she's like the sweetest person in the world. She always closes her eyes when she murders a zombie. She really feels bad about it, and she's like the sweetheart of the group. This is Valerie Venomkiss. She is the drummer, and her curse is that she has big giant venomous spider legs for hair. She's kind of the trickster of the group. She's always constantly playing pranks on everybody, but it's this kind of way of thinking that really helps them out when they're up against Bubonic Birth and battling zombies. And then the third member of their power trio is Chelsea Hellchains, and she was cursed to kind of have this metal chains for her hair, and she is the guitar player and also the tough one of the group. She's the first one to jump in the mosh pit and throw her elbows around with the guys, and the first one to like murder zombies and loves that whole kind of thing. So those are the three members of the Death Dolls, and if you're going to be in a band, you need a tour bus. So the Death Dolls have to have the most gruesome and evil tour bus that ever was. And it also doubles as a carrying case. If you rip out its spine, it becomes a handle, and you can carry around your Death Dolls in it. And then I wanted to just see if this kind of idea was possible. So we weren't really required to make a vehicle, but I mocked one up just as kind of a proof of function and scaling. So what this would do is it would be the tour bus playset for your dolls.
Kelly, we need the table to pull that spread out.
It might be better. I'm going to go ahead and set it there.
For it to fall.
It's the tour bus, but it also doubles as a stage for your dolls to be displayed. So it comes down and opens up, the skull swings forward, the chair would swing over into the speakers and the amplifiers, and you can take your favorite death metal album and use it as the backdrop for the stage to display your dolls on. And the dolls would go right in front and be to scale here for the stage. So they would just stand here, you would have your favorite metal album in here, and it's kind of like the backdrop. So it's this whole kind of visual presentation, and then when you're done, it all closes back up into the vehicle playset carry case. Just kind of looking at prices from Barbie, I know this is nothing like Barbie, but the vehicle is similar in size. I would like to have Bluetooth wireless speaker technology installed in this, and I looked it up, and it's actually really pretty cheap and cost effective to install that kind of thing in here. So I was hoping to keep it more around the $55 range. The packaging, when it came to the packaging, I had kind of one idea in mind, and that was controversy. This kind of thing, even though it looks evil and offensive, is a visual magnet to the people that kind of throw themselves into this lifestyle. And also it just looks creepy and disturbing. And part of what sells in this world is controversy. This is an album from one of my favorite bands, Cannibal Corpse. And it's basically zombies butchering people, and when it